All right. Hello, everyone. Today I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Dean Allen, the owner of the Zontos Hydrogen Water Company. And we are actually going to react to a few hydrogen water videos that are making the rounds on the internet right now. Some of them are going a little bit viral. We do have a full episode already up on our podcast about hydrogen water. So if you want the full rundown and, Dean's story and everything, that's in the podcast episode. So we're not going to go through any of that. We're just going to jump right in and talk about these clips. Dean, how you doing? You excited?
I am very excited. Always excited to talk about hydrogen.
Okay, first video here. Gary Brecka and Dana White. And by the way, we're not here to bash anyone who's on these videos. I think we're going to agree mostly about what they have to say. And I have a lot of respect for Gary. And anyone out there promoting hydrogen water has good reason to do so because there's so much science behind it. If we do have disagreements, it might be on the delivery system for that water. What is the best and most reliable way, the best value for your money?
Dana White whacking back hydrogen water as we speak.
Is a hydrogen water generator that you can take on the go. You essentially take the top off of this bottle, you pour bottled water in this, and repeatedly it will make high part per million hydrogen water. You press this little button, you'll see.
Dean, you're familiar with this specific device?
Extremely, yes.
So when he says high parts per million, do you agree that it is actually high? What ppm are we talking about here?
Well, to be honest, I would say we're not going to agree with everybody regarding hydrogen water because of this one reason. If when you drink it, it's not hydrogen water, then it's not hydrogen water, right? So we agree on hydrogen water that's at a certain ppm and at a certain half-life. This product can produce, under the right circumstances, a very decent ppm. It's not bad. Or half-life, not bad. The issue is how long it takes for you to be able to wait to be able to drink that glass of water, and you need to be drinking 8 or 12 for an average male, or 8 or 9 for an average female, I would say. But you wait for a long time, and after getting that water, you're going to get the same benefits. After a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, things start changing faster and faster, not just with the electronics controlling it, but with the plates getting coated, and the parts per million start decreasing, and people stop feeling benefits and stop drinking it. So it's a good taster, but a waste of investment, in my opinion, versus using a mechanism that gives you far more consistent for years parts per million and consistent half-life, and not a wait time, a rather on-demand solution.
So the two main problems here then, before we continue, that this is this type of product takes longer to fill up. So you're supposed to drink a lot of this stuff, but if it takes time, you have to wait for it, then that's just one more barrier to you getting the water in your body. And what the specs are at the beginning may not be what they are a few weeks, months, definitely years down the road, much like an electric vehicle, right? You buy it off the lot, it's got a certain mileage expectancy, and that expectancy is going to go down as the car ages. And as electrical components corrode and that kind of thing. So it may not be performing at its highest level quite soon afterwards, and then it kind of was a waste of money.
Well, I think it's a convenience factor mainly as well. Even with our product, the product only works if you drink the water. And if you're not drinking the water, it just doesn't work, obviously. The issue with that is, it's a very good entry price, but at first it's an exciting thing to do. You drink the water, but when you've got to wait 8 minutes, which I think is about the average for the highest parts per million on all of those devices, we've tested all of them. When you got to wait that long, you tend to end up drinking less of it. To fit that into a day is rather tricky. And then, the D grade, but the super low buy-in price is awesome. It's just a question of preference.
You'll see these bubbles going up in the water. That's hydrogen being created in the water.
Is that true? You said something about that on the podcast that we did, that just because it's having
So
bubbles
yes,
doesn't.
so it is true. Electrolysis is taking place. So the hydrogen and the oxygen are disassociating from each other, and obviously bubbles are being formed, and that's an easy thing with an anode and a cathode. So that is totally happening. The question is not whether that's happening, it's what is remaining in the water. And it's the same question on every product. So to see bubbles, the bubbles are not the part that ever help your body. What helps your body is what's actually dissolved. Once it's a bubble, it's already in the atmosphere. It'll never enter your body when you drink it.
Fair enough.
There are all kinds of peer-reviewed, published clinical studies on the benefits of hydrogen water, including reduced inflammation.
And that is true. There's all kinds of peer-reviewed research out there, all kinds, thousands of.
Phenomenal amounts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better absorption of your supplements, better absorption of your foods, better balance of the stomach acid, and it feeds an entire class of bacteria in your gut. Hydrogen water is the most beneficial water that you can drink, and now you can take it wherever you go.
Well,
And that is true. You can take it wherever you go while it's working correctly. I couldn't agree more. The question is actually execution and doing it, on a daily basis. It's not a good idea. It should be a staple, so it needs to be a consistent, easy thing.
Taking hydrogen water, restructuring it, right on down the hatch it goes.
I literally can feel the difference.
You can taste the difference, man.
he says restructuring it. What do you think about that?
Restructuring is something far above my pay grade, but people that are on my pay grade and do know about it and probably know the most in the world about it claim it's it's a real thing. So is gravity, but it doesn't mean that it's helpful to jump off buildings. So in nature, I believe it's around 13 the structure of water found naturally. To be able to break that chain is something that's doable. Whether that's actually helpful for the osmosis in the cell and actually means it's going through easier and creating more hydration is a big question, because it does the reverse as well. So it's hypotonic or hypertonic cells. And so there's a lot of discovery there. Hydrogen water, however, it doesn't need any more discovery. It's already all there. We just need a bunch more people to be aware of it and benefiting from it.
So hydrogen already is hydrating the cells from the inside by bonding with the hydroxyl radicals, right? And creating water. And wherever that happens, whether it's in a cell or wherever, it's going to create water at that site.
Right. Well, it's not just that as much as the fact that it's going directly through the cells. So it doesn't have to struggle to cross the barrier, the selective membrane. It crosses very, very easily through there and does what it needs to do, especially, I would say, in the mitochondria, right? Which is they say the life house or the powerhouse of the human body. And it's true, it is. But there's a lot of hydroxyl radicals being created there. Yeah.
And so smooth and
Right?
Best kind of water you can put into the human body.
It's not smooth. It's just, I believe, part of it, a reaction you're feeling on your tongue, but it can't be smoother, nor could it taste any different. People say it tastes better. It doesn't taste better. It's either clean tasting or not. I mean, you can't taste the hydrogen, is my point.
Fair enough.
Is hydrogen water by a landslide. Hydrogen water, by all of the clinical studies, there are probably 1,400 published peer-reviewed clinical studies on hydrogen water, more than any other type of water on the planet.
That music is too loud. Wow.
And, there's a whole class of bacteria in your gut called hydrophiles. You can actually increase the absorption of all of your nutrients in your...
Something that you have to do at home that converts your water to hydrogen water?
Well, you can add hydrogen to your water when you're done. I actually have a little hydrogen bottle, and you fill it with water, and you just hit a little button, and it adds hydrogen ions to the water. I never travel and never go anywhere without it.
And the benefits of hydrogen water are?
It'll improve the absorption of nutrients and supplements in your stomach. It actually helps enzymes further break down. They complete what's called this lock and key method in your stomach. The studies on hydrogen water and neuroinflammatory disease and chronic inflammation are astounding.
I really wish the music was not so loud on that clip. Any comments on that? He pretty much just reiterated.
Yeah, I mean, there's more benefits than that. I think some of them being weight loss without lifestyle change, except drinking the water, recovery time, which I think is a huge one. You probably see other people speak about that. And then obviously your immune system. I think what they didn't state there is how much hydrogen really helps your immune system, which is something that's active all day, every day. And we all get diseases we always wish we never would every day. And then our body just deals with it. So we don't actually get the disease because it didn't stay. And that's the important part, is our immune system being able to handle all those things for general health as well.
Hydrogen water, in my opinion, is the most beneficial water that you can drink, and now you can take it wherever you go. Benefits of hydrogen water.
So this product he's showing here, it is 50 pounds, Great British pounds,
which I'm assuming is what, like 75 US dollars?
63 US dollars. So almost nothing, basically, is what that costs. You will not find very many extremely helpful products for anywhere in this range. I know this is not a water filter, but you're not going to get any sort of a decent water filter for less than $300 USD. Basically, that's your bare minimum, rock bottom for a machine that's actually going to do its job and last a while. So I don't know really what you're getting.
But this is not a filter, right? This is a hydrogen water generator, and I think it will do its job. The question is, for how long? How many glasses of water can you make?
Well, if I buy a car, I want it to last me 300,000 miles. You know, I'm not going to be happy with reading the specs, anticipating that those specs are only going to hold up for, you know,
right.
10,000 miles or something. That's not going to make me happy.
You're buying a cheap Uber driver here, in my opinion.
So you're buying something that will very quickly deliver you.
It'll get you there for days, weeks, maybe.
Days and weeks, maybe. So if we be generous here and say that this lasts 2 months at full capacity or near full capacity, where you're getting your value worth, that still means you would have to spend the 50 pounds or $60 every 2 months.
Well, I don't think people would do that. I think at that point they would have lost interest, but they won't be realizing that they're not getting the benefit of the hydrogen water, you know.
Well, you'd be spending a minimum of a few $100s a year, and I would say realistically probably more than that if you're going to continue to try and get your hydrogen that way. So if you're just committing to doing this long term, and even short term is 3 months for me, you don't try anything for less than 3 months.
But honestly, it's not the financial side. I think that's going to stop people. What it is the convenience factor that everybody thinks won't matter. Like the latest ATV I bought, I thought, oh, I'll clean it off every time I ride it. No, I don't. At first I did. But now they've got to spend the time and energy, instead of just turning on something, getting the water, drinking it whenever they're ready to, whenever they can, whenever they have a moment. They have to pre-plan it. And that's totally different. And then when you walk with it, it's no longer hydrogen water. When it's sloshing around, when it's moving, you know, so.
And we went into that in the podcast as well. You do want to keep it as stable as possible and drink it as quickly as possible. But a product like the Zontos machine provides the longest half-life on the market. So that means, you know, you can leave it on your counter for a few hours and it still has a significant amount of hydrogen in it. But something like this, it's odd to me that it's designed to be carried with you. You know, you're walking around. I imagine, you know, working people in the office would be drawn to a product like this because, yeah, maybe they don't want to bring their machine into work, but that's kind of defeating a large part of the purpose, because if it's designed to be traveled with, then by default, it's being exposed to quite a lot of movement, quite a lot of shuffling and rumbling. You can't ride a train or sit in a car with the hum of a motor without dissipating much or all of that hydrogen very quickly.
Correct. But you could sit in an office by yourself and push the button and wait for it. And it does create good ppms, and you would get the benefit of that one glass. The point is just how practical it is, that you're going to be able to wait there, wait for it to be done, and then drink it, versus just getting it when you need it. It's a preference thing again, right?
And some people will be willing to put up with a little bit of inconvenience for a significant cost reduction, but by that same token, if those people are serious about their health, then I don't see why you would buy a product, and it's not advertised here, but I don't see why you would buy a product that is not likely to last very long. if it's only likely to last a couple of months at full capacity, then it's just, to me, I don't want to buy anything in that category.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, my company has invested a lot of money purchasing prototypes, and even while some of these products were in development, and purchasing samples, and then R&Ds, testing devices. And in the sample populations we've given to people, they've absolutely loved it for the first few days. I mean, they love seeing the bubbles. They share with everybody about it. They're excited about it. I've not found a person after 1 week yet, and that's just in our little sample group. So I'm not saying it's normal, but not found one person, no matter how excited I am about the water and that being a potential product I'd sell, that we're still using it after a week because of just the convenience factor, right? But if it was just built trading their water on demand or doing something like that, they would be using it. Obviously, it would just be helpful.
Including reduced inflammation, better absorption of your supplements, better absorption of your foods, better balance of the stomach acid, and it feeds an entire class of bacteria in your gut.
So he said all those before, but did we mention the gut thing on our episode? What does he mean by that, feeding a species of bacteria in our gut?
So
bacteria in your gut.
An entire class. What class?
Honestly, yeah. The way hydrogen water works in our body is not some like novel new concept that's come from outer space. It actually comes from our gut or our duodenum, where exactly that is created, and it does exactly what it's meant to do. So what we're doing in the industry, just so to speak, is increasing the amount of hydrogen that's coming in to do an stellar job of what your gut's trying to do. At the same time, it does help upregulate and downregulate things that help with the correct gut chemistry that allows absorption and more production. That's, I guess, a double positive. It's the same way that you can drink hydrogen water and it seems like people urinate more when they drink it, but they're not being dehydrated like if they were drinking alcohol. It's a double positive, right? So they're flushing their system and getting more hydrated. It's not diuretic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I think this might be the last one. I had one more here, but I think it might have gotten deleted or something. I don't know. Couldn't find it.
This is super legit. Dana White's doing this. Big Pharma
Dana
does not
White.
want you to know about this.
So Dana White, we've seen him twice. He's the president of the UFC.
Oh, yes.
Famous guy. I think he's a billionaire now or close to it. And he's not the only celebrity, obviously, that's been interested in hydrogen water. I even saw recently some high up people in my company, the supplement company that I distribute for. They were talking about their hydrogen water and how much they love it. Not sure which machines they were using, but it's very recently become popular, even though this is not new. Hydrogen water science we talked about on the episode. It's been happening a long time. There's been a lot of professional scientific interest and military interest in hydrogen water for a long time, but only right now it seems to be coming out to the mainstream alternative health world, or even the mainstream regular health world.
Absolutely.
What are some other celebrities that have embraced this?
I can't share about any celebrities that use our product, but I can definitely share about the one endorsement we have of our product that we've allowed on the website and in social media is a woman named Sharon Stewart. She was the neuromuscular therapist of Evander Holyfield, world champion heavyweight boxer. I never knew who he was at the time when I met Sharon, but I found out pretty quick he was a pretty big deal. And he attributes all of his success to her, and she believes in this, as people would be able to see on the video, more than you could imagine, given the amount of products that she's been presented, that she chose this one and only this one and got paid nothing for this endorsement whatsoever. She's just a customer, but she has endorsed us officially.
Well, people can check out this testimonial, and I have no problem believing that she's been pitched a million different things. I have been pitched a million different things and different water companies, including alkaline water, and I haven't been interested in it because it hasn't been obvious to me that it is actually the best type of water and specifically the best value product that I could represent. So I held off for a long time too.
I'm glad you did.
Big Fitness is in on it. Gary Brecka just texted me. He sent me this method.
I think the best kind of water you can put into the human body is hydrogen water by a landslide.
So it's something that you have to do at home that converts your water to hydrogen water?
You fill it with your bottled water, and you just hit
Sorry, who was the gentleman that got texted by Gary Brecker?
I am not sure who this guy is. I've never seen him
I
before.
don't buy it. I don't know who that guy is either. Anyway,
But you don't think
I
he's
respect
buddies?
the other people. I don't know who that is.
You don't think he's buddies with Gary?
I don't know.
Who knows? You think he actually sent him this exact video? Hey, check it out. This is what Gary sent me. Yeah, I don't know about this.
Gary Brecka just texted.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm always a skeptic. I love skeptics because they just want to get down to the bottom.
It's your water to hydrogen water?
You fill it with your bottled water, and you just hit a little button, and it adds hydrogen ions to the water. I never travel and never go anywhere without it.
They said over 1,400 clinical
They said
peer-reviewed studies.
14,000.
Oh,
I think they added an extra zero. But the truth is, it's about between 2,000 and 3,000 at the moment.
And that's double-blind peer-reviewed.
Double blind, right?
Yeah.
But there's an extra zero on that, I believe.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised.
I never go anywhere without it.
Well,
If I, again, could drink only one type of water, it would be hydrogenated.
Boosts natural energy levels by 84%, improves gut health, reduces inflammation, elevates muscle recovery, and reduces fatigue.
that's correct.
I hope that these people do stumble into longer form information and explanation and really have a deep thought about the capabilities of different hydrogen water machines. So, Dean, if it's producing bubbles still, is that an indication that it is still indeed producing hydrogen?
It definitely would be producing hydrogen and oxygen through just the normal function it's doing. But the question is, what of that is being dissolved in the water to be absorbed by your body? What you can see is already out of solution.
Okay, so just because you see bubbles doesn't mean that it's actually dissolved hydrogen in your drink.
Not dissolved hydrogen, just hydrogen and oxygen, and it's coming out. But if you can see it, it's not in solution. Like if you can see sugar in the glass of water you stir it into, it's not in solution. If you can still see it, it's just sitting there, right?
Got it.
Water. You can't overdo it with hydrogen water either.
Can't overdo it. Can't take too
That's
much hydrogen water. Unless you
True.
drown.
You cannot inhale hydrogen water over air. You will die. That's for sure.
So these clips kind of all reiterated the same thing basically here. So it looks like we are in general agreement about what they are promoting. They could talk even more about more of the benefits. Maybe they added a zero to that one claim of how many studies there has been, but there is a tremendous amount of studies.
I'm sure that was a mistake.
And I do believe that a lot of people are going to jump on this and use this type of content to promote various types of hydrogen water machines.
Well, I mean, we've been in the industry almost longer than anyone else. Been through a period of about 6 years that only ended about 2 quarters ago, where we've been field testing our latest product before doing proper marketing, mass marketing. And I'm glad we did that. The R&D people and people that think totally differently than I do were correct. Like there's lots of mistakes people make sometimes and stuff. Like it being the best cure in the world for hangovers and they put alcohol through the machine issue. But you live and you learn, you know, that's the most egregious issue we've ever had. But we're ready to go mainstream now and feel like the product we have, hands down, without any comparison, produces the best parts per million with the best half-life on demand in real time, with the best longevity and the most minimal upkeep costs and the best health benefits, no matter whether a person's a single member family or a 6-member family, it can handle that equally.
And out of your machines, what's the oldest one that you have that's still working and still producing the proper ppm and half-life? And have any of them actually broke?
to answer the first question, it would be 16 years on the first rendition. As far as if any of them broken, yes, we've sent some into the Dominican Republic where there was such high TDS that it destroyed the machine within months.
What do you mean TDS?
Total dissolved solids. So like sodium, magnesium, potassium, the things that you use a hard water filter to get rid of so that your utensils and your shower, etc., stay cleaner. That type of thing. But so hard, it was unthinkable. They're rather bulletproof products. Besides water going into it, the only other risk of the product would be the quality of the electricity. In other words, we need stable electricity. So if you're on the US power grid, and maybe even in Canada, you guys have good electricity, I'm assuming you do. I mean, I'm joking.
We've got better than
Obviously,
Texas up here right now. I'll say that.
Well, I have no doubt. But here's the point: is obviously there's places in Mexico and going further south that may not have clean electricity. So if it's popping on and off and on and off, that's not ideal. So if you have consistent electricity and a consistent water source that you know is clean or can make clean with a simple sediment filter, then it's ideal.
Oh, right. Very good. So you need clean water and you need clean electricity to run the machine or it might burn out. But you've got 16-year-old machines.
And you need to turn it on. Right.
And you've got 16-year-old machines that are still performing as they're meant to perform off the lot.
Correct. Yes.
And before we sign out here, I just want to remind everyone that what a product says on its label can only tell you so much. This is true whether you're talking about an electronic, a vehicle, and definitely in my industry, the supplement business. What it says on the label does not tell you really anything about its quality. And there is tolerances even in supplement labels. They don't have to have 100% of what they claim on the label. They can have plus or minus, and you're more likely to get a minus there. You're more likely to get skimped on. Just saying that a product that maybe I'm promoting, you might find a product that has a very similar label or one that even looks better. It has bigger doses for less money. That doesn't mean it's going to work as well. That doesn't mean that the quality controls are there. And when it comes to promoting a machine that is supposed to work long term, and you have people, once again, absolutely no disrespect to Gary, we're not getting the full message here. We just watched some short clips and everything like that. But the implication is that this machine is intended to work for a long time. Whereas I see the marketing where a lot of hydrogen water products are being pushed just on the benefits. It's great to talk about the benefits, but as you said, Dean, the benefits with the hydrogen water, just like the benefits with supplements, will not happen unless you take them consistently. In the case of supplements, you also have to absorb it. So just talking about the benefits doesn't mean that you are actually going to get that benefit if the machine does not produce that ppm over time, or if it takes 8 minutes to fill up, and that's just inconvenient enough to make it so that, okay, you usually get 3 glasses a day or 4 glasses a day, but you're supposed to be getting 8 to 10 glasses a day for the maximum benefit of the hydrogen water. But if it's a little bit inconvenient and you're getting less than that as a result of it being inconvenient, then that's defeating the purpose of what you're trying to do here. You don't have to wait for supplements, so that's not an issue, but it definitely is an issue when people promote just the benefits of a nutrient or a machine without talking about its potential for long-term use. Is this machine actually going to hold up? And Dean, I really like that was, and still is, kind of the main thing that you always reinforce with me when we're talking. I'm trying to talk about ppm and stuff, and you're saying it's not all just ppm. Is the machine going to continue performing long-term? Is it going to produce enough for you to consume conveniently? Well, what about your family? In my case, my wife drinks it, or the kids drink it. She's even been giving it to the cats, right? So this machine has to hold up and perform for all of us. And I know that if it was a single water bottle, wouldn't be possible. We'd have to buy 5 different water bottles. And then even then, if it's not that convenient, a lot of us are not going to be doing it too often. Not as often as we should.
Right.
And I don't want to waste $50 on anything. I'm just not convinced that there's very many consumer products at all for $50 that are going to be worth my money. I would rather spend more and get a better product so I don't have to keep buying the same thing. And we are signing out here, but I'm speaking to you on a microphone that's a good example of this. This is my 4th microphone that I've purchased because I cheaped out on the first 3. And when I finally went in and got the one that I should have got to begin with, I've now spent double the amount of money because I bought the 3 cheap microphones first. I could have just held out a little bit, saved up a little bit, or slapped myself in the face and say, just stop being stupid, put the money down for the proper piece of equipment that you need, because I should have known deep down, I'm going to end up buying it anyways. If you're looking for the correct solution to your problem, you're going to end up buying the correct product eventually. The question is, are you going to go through 2 or 3 microphones first before you get the one that you knew you needed all along, right? So in this case, this could be one of the most important, if not the most important investment that you can make in your health. So to me, it's absolutely worth making the correct decision. And with something like this, I compare it to a vehicle. I drive very cheap vehicles, but I'm going to need to scrutinize my purchase to make sure that it is going to actually hold up and be worth my money.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
Anything else to add here?
Important. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say exactly what you were saying is true. And the point is this: people can experience the benefits of hydrogen by buying something that costs 50 or $100. There's no doubt they can. The first benefits, the brain fog going away and increased energy, etc. But the point is, they'll just find out it's real, and then you've got to still do something to actually drink it all the time. It's just impractical. And again, not trying to slam them, but even when we travel with our product versus with portable bottles, because when we're there, wherever we travel to, and we travel all the time, my wife and I, for business. But when we do travel, we don't have time to wait 8 minutes for it to hydrogenize and then, try and chug it right then. In reality, right? There's better solutions, I think. But I would rather people drink that water than Coke. That's for sure.
All right. Okay, guys. So we are going to sign out here. Of course, remember, you should check out the full episode that we already did on podcast Notice and Friends. Of course, that is in the description of this podcast as well. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you should know the reason I don't post much here is because YouTube does not like health information. So this video may not even stay up, or this video and videos like it may cause me to be demonetized. Our health account already is demonetized. Just saying, that's why we're not posting much on YouTube. If you are looking for a real source on deep diving health information, you definitely want to check out the podcast, because that's really the only uncensored platform that we are operating on right now. We're most active on Instagram, of course, constantly giving out health information. We do post on Rumble a fair bit too. You can find all of these links on my website, notusbooks.org. That is in the description once again. And I appreciate you, Dean, for joining me as always. Dean Allen.
Thank you.
Owner of Zontos Hydrogen Water Company. I do have an affiliate link, by the way. Maybe I should have mentioned that earlier. I'm not a paid endorser here, but I will make a commission if you do purchase from my link. And I understand that it is a big decision, so I encourage you to go on the Zontos website and look at some of the information there, and look at Google. There's so many studies, as Gary was talking about. You will be blown away by how many there are and by how many different effects hydrogen water does have through the body. So think about it, and if you do want the best machine on the market with the highest ppm and the longest half-life, and a very strong likelihood that the machine is actually going to last a long time and perform for more than one person without a problem.
And enjoy the customer support that's personalized and specific, right? Because we're passionate about what we do.
Absolutely. Dean and Co. are extremely passionate about hydrogen water and about the customer experience, and they are very hands-on when it comes to the customer service. So you can reach out to the Zontos Water Company anytime and get your questions answered in person, maybe even by Dean himself.
Correct.
So once again, all links in the descriptions. Appreciate everybody. Until next time.